why we quit. Dun dun dun. So why we quit? As you guys know, and I think I covered it in the last video. Belizean trucker over here is actually experienced. So this experience for him, and then all the things he was telling me, I was putting two and together, and I was like, oh man, like this sucks, you know, what we were going through. So I'm gonna get into what happened and the second week of our experience. You know, the first week went real good. Everything was organized. Our loads for the whole week was set and ready to go for Amazon and stuff like that. And the only really hiccup that we had and the problem that we had when we went out that first week, the truck had overheated, and the truck was actually losing coolant like too fast than it was supposed to. And you know me, I'm just like learning all this stuff. It's my first time on the road, and I'm like, oh crap. And we had my daughter and the dog, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know, that was kind of scary, but we made it home safe, and I was able to do that first video, so thank God for that. But all right, so this one, the second week that we went out, before we even went out, they kind of didn't have a load for us. They were trying to like juggle things and put stuff together and try to get us some loads, because we were supposed to do this contract for Amazon for 3 weeks in Cali. So we were gonna be out for a month. So that first week they were trying to get us out of Florida to like get there. You know, so we met up, and mind you guys, this is a subcontractor that we worked for that went through Amazon. Had a contract through Amazon, actually JB Hunt, and we found out later on Schneider. So that was like, what the heck? And I'm out here getting bit by no-see-ums. If anybody that lives in South Florida and lives near the damn canals, I'm getting bit up by no-see-ums right now. So I'm gonna try to make this real fast. So basically, second experience wasn't the best. Again, we had that issue with the truck in the beginning. Dude was supposed to like change the tires and stuff like that for us to get back on the road. We're gonna be out in Cali for 3 weeks, so you got to make sure that we have stuff that we need. You know, the tires are fixed. We asked him about the inverter the minute before we even got in the truck the first week. Inverter never came. He never got the inverter. Let's see, the fridge, obviously we don't like to eat on the, you know, we don't like to eat out all the time. I cook, he cooks, so that was like a downfall because we couldn't plug anything in. I had to buy like a power inverter that I was able to plug in the truck out of my pocket, because you know, this guy didn't have stuff ready. So that really sucked. And so, you know, like these little things started to add up until we get to like the worst part, which for all you truckers out there, know that when people aren't organized, and it's not even about your dispatcher not liking us, or us in this situation, our dispatcher, because it was a father-in-law, it was a wife, and no one was on the same page. Okay, so that's basically what we were going through. And you know, that was just like a super downfall, because saying hi to my neighbor. So that was like a super downfall because, you know, me as a manager in the past, we don't like to be organized. You know, we like to know what's coming. And as a business owner, this guy should have stuff organized for us. We're his drivers and had stuff ready for us. So that was like a real downfall that I saw. And being that Belizean trucker has experience already, it was just very unorganized. He worked for UPS before, and everything was like, you know, even though they had to wait for loads at times, everything was organized and they knew what was coming next for them. And that's what we thought what was going to happen the same way the first week we started with Amazon, but it didn't. So second week, it was just all over the place. We picked up an Amazon load. We had to bobtail, and we did not get paid for it, from Florida all the way to Atlanta, Atlanta, Georgia. From Atlanta, Georgia, we picked up a load to take to Texas. So we took it to Texas. We were sitting in Texas for damn near 4 days. Okay, so about 3-4 days basically. We got there on a Saturday. We didn't leave out until Tuesday, but our load wasn't even ready Tuesday until 11 p.m. Okay, and that was at that point, in between this 3 period time, the truck had turned off on us. Sorry, guys. The truck had turned off on us twice, but it needed a regeneration. But we know another driver, because remember what I told you in the first video, it was actually somebody, a friend that we knew, that referred us to this guy, but he had just started too, so it's not, it's nobody's fault or anything like that. It sucks, because he felt bad, and it's just, it's just a bad situation. He went through a bad situation, we went through a bad situation with this guy. So like, I gave him a piece of my mind, because obviously Belizean trucker was upset too. He was like, this is bad business. This is not how you do stuff. In the trucking world, you need to make sure your drivers are good. You need to, if they ask you for something, or if you have it there and it's not fixed, you should make sure they're good, especially being that we were going to go out for a month and didn't have the things that we needed or the things that we asked for. He basically left us out there. There was 2 tires that needed to be changed. Like, the thread depth was terrible, okay? And he had an extra spare tire in the back of the truck, and he expected us, whenever the tire pops, get it fixed. Or if you need another tire, get the lowest rate and use the card. Mind you, that fuel card that he gave us, we went to go put fuel at a Love's in, I forget where we were, but regardless, we went to go put fuel and the car got denied. So we called him as a business owner. For all of you business owner operators out there, don't do this to your drivers. But see, us being that we want to be owner operators one day, we know what not to do with this experience. Anyways, we called him and he was like, let me see what's going on. He cashed out me money to get fuel. Okay, cashed out me money to get fuel. So we did that. That was another thing. So the tires, the fuel card, the inverter, the refrigerator, and the refrigerator could be something minor. We had a cooler or whatever, but it was just little things adding up to the bigger picture as being an owner operator and how you're treating your drivers. And then to top it all off, after we were waiting for 2 days in Texas, in the beginning, we were supposed to get a full load, which was going to be a live load in another part of Texas. We were supposed to get an empty on November 24th. The next day, we were supposed to take that empty the next day, which is not even far from the first place, to another part in Texas to get loaded, live load, okay? To take that day, no, to have by the next day that live load from Texas to Colorado. And guess how much the miles were altogether within those 3 to 4 days? 700 miles with team drivers. No, that was like a big no-no. So anyways, after the 3rd day of sitting in, that day that we were supposed to leave in Texas was the same day that trucks stopped twice. We had to do the regeneration. The loads got canceled. So those shitty loads got canceled anyways, okay? So then we got another load to go, and mind you, that got canceled, and all this stuff is going on with the truck. All these things that needed to get done to the truck were not getting done to the truck. Belizean trucker is already pissed off because he's like, this is not how you do business. This is not how you treat your drivers. And when you bring something up more than one time, it obviously should declare that there's an issue there, So he was just letting it pass him by. So when I said I give him a piece of my mind, did it in a professional way or whatever. But I let him know, like, this is not how you do things. I got the whole apology and whatever you want me to do, we'll make it work. And, we'll buy you, dinner on me and this and that. And, at that point, it wasn't the point that we wanted you to do anything. At this point, Belizean trucker wanted to go home. At that point, I guess I was ready to go home too, because this is like my first experience, and I'm like, damn, I wouldn't think that this is how other companies would treat you, like bigger companies, So that's what happens with subcontractors. You kind of have to, need to be careful. So that happened, and we basically told them, we ended up getting an Amazon load to go from Texas to Oklahoma, but we had to bobtail about 300 and something miles, and I got paid for it either. So then that was another thing. No, from Oklahoma to Arizona. From Texas to Oklahoma would have been 300 and something miles, and I got paid for it. Okay, So we already did a whole bunch of miles from Florida to Atlanta, didn't get paid, and then to do that, not get paid. Um, so we were like, all right, we want to go home. So then, after we made the decision to just quit and go home, we asked them to get us loads to go back home. So then we did 2 Amazon loads that we were supposed to get. Both of them canceled in the same day. Then we finally got that last Amazon load to go home, which was, again, we had to bobtail to Oklahoma City to go to Georgia. Okay, we didn't get paid for the bobtailing. We got paid from Oklahoma City to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta to Arcadia. I don't know how you say it, Florida. It's like by Sarasota over there. Got paid for that. Wanted us to pick up empties in between and all this stuff. That didn't work out because it was just not working out with that. Brokers weren't answering and all that good stuff, so we didn't get to that. It was just so unorganized. There was a group chat between his father-in-law and his wife and me, and then a separate one with Belizean trucker and the wife and him and the father-in-law. It was just terrible experience. Like the second week, the first week I was super excited. I still was excited anyways. I still went through some places that I never. Yeah, so I still got to see places, and regardless, I like the trucking. It's fun, and I just can't wait for our next step. Right now we're home, and we're trying to figure it out. He was actually going to go with a couple companies, but decided not to. So we're looking into what our next step is going to be. So stay tuned. Be patient with me. I'm going to get better at this. And subscribe, like, share, guys. I need everybody's support and suggestions and things like that. So just stay tuned, guys. Continue to watch our journey. And I just hope for better things after this. So peace out.